Okay. Hi, Cindy.
Hi.
So I'm here today with Cindy Guillean, who teaches the Sacred Writing class at Evenstar Institute. She's offering it in January. And we're going to talk today just to find out a little bit about Cindy and see who she is as a writer, as a teacher, and as a person. Hi, Cindy.
Hi.
So tell me just a little bit about yourself in your own words.
Um, I guess I would say that I'm a writer and I used to be a writing teacher. I'm a retired writing teacher. Um, and I've taught at community college, undergraduate, some little private classes. We have a high school in our area that offers classes to an individual student. I've done a little bit of that. Um, and just enjoyed writing my whole life and loved working with people around their writing. There are rules, but not really. And so you can read and write about anything you like. And people who relax into that can really have a good time doing that.
And so is that something that you help people do, relax into writing?
I think so. For me, writing is fun and never about pressure, but also, um, I guess I would say I've gotten some tremendous insights about myself just by writing. I write every day in a journal. I have written some things for publication, or I've been published just once or twice, but mostly I like writing for exploration, writing for fun, writing to create something that you didn't even know you wanted to create, or writing to create something you knew exactly that you wanted to create. There's so many things you can do with it. You can keep it to yourself, you can share it with somebody else, you can write together in kind of fun ways.
A-
Um, eh,
And
Go
so
ahead.
you said write something with intention that you mean to write, but then also approach writing without knowing what you want to come out. Can you talk a little bit about how you encourage people to do both of because personally, like I can't imagine how do I write something if I don't know what I'm going to write. So how does that even happen? So talk about that a little bit.
That is a great question, actually. And it sort of, I guess, in a way, highlights the part of writing that I like the most. So writing can have different stages or different phases, and the beginning of it, is like idea gathering. And you can write for different reasons too. You can write to learn, you can write to display what you've learned, and write to express something you feel. So in the beginning stages of writing, you might not know at all what you want to write about. You might not even have an impulse to write. Actually, I do, because that's something I like. But if somebody said to me dance, I'd be like, I don't know where to start. But in that beginning stage of writing, there's something called invention, and that's the part of the process I love the most. And so over the years of teaching, I've created different, I guess you would call them heuristics in a way. Something called a spider page or box
I'm sorry,
writing.
for those of us who don't really understand big words, could you explain the word heuristic, please?
Yeah, so heuristic is like, for example, the spider page, that's a heuristic. It's got a box on the page, a box inside, and then all these rays going out. So you can kind of make a list in the middle, just some ideas that occur to you as they do. And then you take a little ray to the side and just elaborate what comes to your mind when you think about that. Why do you think that came to your mind? What's a detail about that? How did you feel? What did it smell like? It helps you sort of flesh out why it occurred to you, or what it means to you, or what it could potentially mean to you. And then you've got them all on the page, maybe 5 or 10 of them. And then you could start to say, well, wow, how does that one speak to that one? Or when I put that one next to that one, what does it make me feel? What does it make me feel? Or how does it make me understand something better? Or
So it's a tool to help people tap into ideas and words that they don't know are sitting there, but then
yeah,
can come out through the
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 process.
tool, the
It's
process.
it's like a process. So it's kind of like anything else, a spiritual journey. You kind of have a destination in mind, but it's about the journey, and it's about doing that. And if you don't try to be a correct writer, or try to, control it too much, a lot of really wonderful things come out, funny things, sad things, I guess you have to be a little brave. I mean, you can control where it goes if you want to, but if you get very comfortable with it, you can just see where it will take you. And like any tool, reflection or, I guess painting. I guess I should say that for me, writing is a little broader than just words on a page too. I think anything you can read, it's like you can read a saying on a t-shirt, you can read something on a hat, you can read an image, you can read a setting. So when I say the classes are based around writing, that's a really loose, it's very loose. It's sort of a 2D or a 3D self-expression maybe that somebody else could interact with and have an experience with. I do think that for the most part, if you're writing, there is an audience. People think of writing as very solitary, but it's really quite a social activity. If you feel something enough to express it, for most of the time, you've got, a potential audience in mind. Not that you're selling it or something like that, but somebody you want to share it with, or other people doing the same thing who want to share. And in that sharing, really, there's magic in both parts, right? There's magic in that self-exploration, but there's magic in, receiving what somebody else might want to share, and sparks fly. Sometimes you get really, more ideas and more joy out of it. Yeah. So I think it's kind of like water, you can use it for a lot of different purposes, and all of them are life-giving, I would say.
Nice. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, in your bio, I noticed that it says something about sharing the magic of writing. And so that's what you're talking about.
Yes. And the magic is different for everybody. And I really, okay, so in teaching for over 30 years, I really don't know how many people I've shared writing with and their writing process. But I do know that people who even come into it thinking, I don't think this is for me. Well, of course, in a community college or a college, you have to take it, right? So I would have unwilling, initially, but I always felt like no matter what aspect of writing I was meant to teach, that if somebody could get a personal connection to that expression, they could take it wherever they wanted to and fulfill these kind of requirements that they had to, right? And so doing that with a lot of people over 30 years just reinforced for me that it is magic, but the magic works differently for each person. You can really pretty much, take from it as much as you want, and it's so cheap. Like you don't have to buy anything, you could do it anywhere,
Yeah.
it's like it's magic in that way too.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah,
Yeah. All
yeah.
right.
Sometimes you can't express yourself verbally as eloquently as you might like to somebody or in a situation. So, writing it down is kind of special too.
Yeah. And writing it down helps the verbal process so that when you come to speaking, there's something already there that has been processed. So you're a bit further along and can be maybe more clear or more succinct or more um, uh, loving and compassionate, perhaps, in your communication.
Yes, yes. Conscious of your audience
Conscious of your audience.
and
All
possibly
right.
how they might take what you're communicating, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, when I was a young girl, probably, I don't know, 5 or 6 years old, my grandmother came to stay with us for a couple months. She lived in Pennsylvania and I lived in Michigan, and it was very special. But she got up every morning and wrote letters. And I think, I had that model of you just get up and write every day,
Mm-hmm.
and then as you go through your life, you have really happy times and rough patches,
Mm-hmm.
and writing helps for all of those. I remember I have two sons and they're grown up now, of course, but when they were young, we would go camping and these different things. And I would always have some kind of reading or writing activity. And they'd always be like, Mom, we're camping, and I would, "Okay, well, just try it, and often very wonderful things would come from that, funny things and touching things too, you
Great.
know,
Great.
nice memories.
Nice, nice. Well, thank you for bringing your 30 years of writing experience to Even Star Institute. So again, you are Cindy Guillean,
Mhm.
teaching Sacred Writing, This Small Gift, which will be available, which is available through Even Star Institute. It starts on January 31st and continues for 5 weeks. That's Sundays from 7 to 8:30 p.m. And anyone who is interested in registering and taking this wonderful class with this wonderful Cindy Guillean can go to evenstars.chalice.com/institute and find the courses page and sign up for Sacred Writing, The Small Gift. Thank you, Cindy. I look forward to talking to you further about the class itself.
Thank you.